uh, uh, I'm Ted Cruz. Nazis had a point. Uh, uh, I'm Mitch McConnell. Nazis had a... You know, that conversation, the whole Jubilee thing, reminded me of when I was talking to Blaire White about how you should accept non-binary people. And Blaire White was like, I just think it's funny how, like, a cis guy is telling me this. Oh, I hate, I don't, I love it when they do the id pull shit, man. It's so fucking good. You were not mean enough to Blaire. Oh, I would have been incredibly mean to Blaire if we'd had that conversation now. Back then, I thought she was just, like, misguided conservative leaning, but, like, obviously my opinion has, in the past dozen or so times I've done videos on her, you know, soured a little bit. It's just funny how a trans girl is a transphobe. You can't be a member of a minority group in the right, the modern right, unless you're specifically against that minority group. Black conservatives are told, or of their own volition, just do anyway. They spend their time arguing how BLM has gone too far and blah, 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 blah. You know, active black women, sorry, not black women, active women are always talking about how, like, you know, feminism's gone too far. Trans people like Blaire White, blah, 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 blah. Always the whole thing. You know, when they're the conservative bit. Ann Coulter was against women's suffrage, wasn't she? Ann Coulter, I feel like I think Ann Coulter, hasn't she dropped, like, crypto Nazi shit in the past? Ann Coulter might actually be Yellow Mao. Yeah, I think so. She's basically a white nationalist. You mean Ann Coulter? Ann Coulter? Yeah, it's important to remember, right? There are so many, like, bad ideological roots that people want to forget, you know? Like, obviously we had slavery like 150 years ago, but Nazism was pretty popular in America back before World War II. Like, Nazis got a lot of their shit from us, and the popularity continued until we stamped it out as part of the wartime effort, and then it basically just went underground. And then after the war, a bunch of people who were, like, with the Nazis before the war suddenly stopped being with the Nazis and started being with, like, the Jim Crow laws, you know? It's really funny. You know that meme in The Simpsons where Homer, like, disappears into the bush and then comes back out, like, wearing different clothing? The Nazis have done this like 3 times, dude, right? You had like you had like the Confederates and, like, the scientific racists, like, and, like, they were with the Nazi party, and then they and they were just, like, Jim Crow, like, anti you know, integrationist, like, segregationist types or whatever. And then, like, after the Civil Rights Act, they and now they're all just, like, you know, fiscally responsible conservatives who also believe in expending billions of dollars on the police in order to crack down on the drug war. So it's really, it's the same group of people, and honest to God, in my heart of hearts, I really do think a ton of those bloviating fucks in Washington secretly do just honestly just agree with Hitler in a lot of stuff. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I don't know why it would be. We're less than 100 years out, less than just a few generations out from Nazism being super popular in this country. I don't know why you'd think that would just go. People always think it just goes away. Like, oh, that only happened 50 years ago. Well, 50 years, you could have been an adult then and still be an adult now. You know, that's not. uh, uh, I'm Ted Cruz. Nazis had a point. Uh, uh, I'm Mitch McConnell. Uh, uh, Nazis had a point. Uh, I'm Donald Trump. The Nazis had a point, but also I think too highly of myself for me to dedicate my person to another ideology which indicates there aren't any components of our person which are greater than myself. Bars. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Eminem was at the halftime show, so they had to bring me out. You know, I was gonna have him here, but he was busy. Fucking God. Here, hold on. I got curious from that idea and looked at McConnell. In his early days, he was a moderate pro-union, pro-abortion. It's crazy. Oh, well, I was tongue-in-cheek with McConnell. I actually don't think McConnell believes in anything. I think that McConnell is just an authentic, realpolitik, like, just amorphous political entity, you know, and that he just does or is or believes whatever is necessary to. He believes in power and nothing else, you know. I don't think he has any ideological predispositions. Ted Cruz's strongest ideological predisposition is, like, religion, right? If nothing else, I feel like Ted Cruz's he has a strong, it's a fundamentalist, right? Like evangelical, and being a cuck, of course, a strong point towards that. For Donald Trump, I genuinely feel as though he really isn't, though. Okay, listen, no evangelicals are actually religious. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. Their churches look like Super Bowl stadiums, you know? They're not actually religious. Their religion is just a way of consolidating political power. They don't believe anything. Talk to an evangelical about the Bible, Christ. I have. They don't care. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in Christ. Ted Cruz is a smart guy, though. Very convincing public speaker. I remember that from the 2015 Republican primaries. Donald Trump, I legitimately feel like Donald Trump would build different the Nazis. Like, he'd be like, yeah, I think they were okay, but, you know, I would have done better. Wouldn't have lost. You know, like that type of thing. I genuinely feel like that's probably the attitude that he has in his head, you know? He's also obviously pretty ideologically, you know, amorphous. The thing that really like like, it's easy to say he's just a narcissist who will only do or say anything to get applause, and I do think that's his primary motivation, don't get me wrong, but like, he's also pretty clearly far right, like even outside of that, like when he called for the death of the Brooklyn Five, right? And he had like decades of racist hiring policies and housing policies. Central Park Five, not the Brooklyn Five. Thank you. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that indicates that it goes like he didn't get a bunch of like applause from the people for doing that. You know, it's clearly like real biases underneath that. Yeah, he took out a full page newspaper to call for the death of 5 innocent people. Yeah. Wasn't Trump pro-Israel? Yeah. When the looting sharts it was looting sharts. Fuck me. Yes. Very true. Fuck, Trump was a really good poster, man. It fits. Trump has sharded, don't you think? Trump has sharded. Oh god, yeah. He has to pretty often, right? There's no way. The dude eats like shit and he's like 80 years old and he doesn't exercise. There's no fucking way. What am I being linked? What is this bullshit? Ooh. Disgusting. Yeah, Trump's dad was arrested at Klan riot. Protect. Blip, blip. I love them. Beautiful. You don't like the sound? Why are the sounds so loud? The sounds might have been added. I imagine they were. Yeah, yeah. All right, 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 all right.